Hello students, in our last lecture we studied about topic number 7.7, power in an AC circuit as well as power factor. Now in our today's lecture we will study about LC oscillations. So this is the topic of our today's lecture. Now hello students, in our last lecture we studied about topic number 7.7, power in an AC circuit as well as power factor. Now in our today's lecture we will study about LC oscillations. So this is the topic of our today's lecture. Students, we know that a capacitor and an inductor, they both stores the energy. Capacitor stores the energy in the form of electric field, while inductor stores the energy in the form of magnetic field. Now here you can see a figure in which the circuit shows a capacitor connected with an inductor. Students, here we will consider that the capacitor is initially charged and then it is connected with an inductor. So as this charged capacitor is connected to an inductor, what will happen? As soon as it is connected with an inductor, the charge will flow through the circuit, and so we get an electric current. This electric current will flow through the inductor and we get a magnetic energy associated with an inductor. So students, as the capacitor discharges, its energy decreases, but as there is a production of or induction of magnetic field in an inductor, there is an energy associated with an inductor. So energy of capacitor gets transformed into the energy of an inductor in the form of magnetic field. Now when the capacitor completely discharges, the magnetic field in an inductor will be maximum, and so now the energy of an inductor is maximum and energy of a capacitor will be 0. Once again current will flow through the inductor and then the capacitor gets once again charged, and in that case what will happen? Now the polarity of the capacitor will change. Earlier this was plus and this was minus. Now this will become negative and this will become positive and the capacitor will get charged. So in this way the process continues and we get the oscillations. Oscillations of what? Oscillations of this charge particle, and that's why this circuit is called a LC oscillator circuit, because here the charge Q oscillates between the two plates of a capacitor. So students, it is clear that when a charged capacitor is connected to an inductor, the charge on the capacitor and the current in the circuit exhibit the phenomena of electrical oscillations, and these electrical oscillations are similar to the oscillations in a mechanical systems. Students, in mechanical system, we know that when a spring is connected to a mass or a block, and if it is lying on a smooth surface, and if we pull this block and then release it, what will happen? It will start its oscillations to and fro. So these are the mechanical oscillations, and here the oscillations are electric oscillations, and these are similar in nature. Now students, here the circuit shown in the figure is known as LC circuit, as I told earlier. Now let the charge on the capacitor at time t is equal to 0, that is initially, be Qm. Qm means maximum charge is present on this capacitor. Now when the inductor is connected to this circuit, the circuit gets completed and the current starts flowing. As I said, as soon as the capacitor is connected to an inductor, a closed circuit is obtained, and so now the current will start to flow through inductor. So now suppose at time t is equal to t, during the process of the flow of the current at some particular time, now we get the charge on the capacitor as Q and the current in the circuit Bi. This Qm is the initial charge on the capacitor at time t is equal to 0, but after some time, that is at time t is equal to t, now the charge on the capacitor is Q and the current in the circuit is I. So in this case, applying the Kirchhoff loop rule to the circuit. So here now we can apply the Kirchhoff rule. The potential between the two plates of the capacitor and the potential difference across the inductor, their summation should be equal to 0. So here potential across capacitor is Q by C. We know that V across capacitor is Q by C, that we have studied in chapter number 2. And the potential across inductor, that is VL, is equal to L di by dt. That also we have studied as well as used. So that results in 0. Let us give this equation number 1. Now students, we know that current I is equal to dq by dt. Here there is negative sign. Negative sign indicates that Q decreases and I increases. There is decrease of charge. That's why there is a negative sign, because we know that initially the charge on the capacitor was maximum charge was present, but as the current increases, the charge on the capacitor goes on decreasing, and that's why here current is taken negative. Now using this value of I in this equation number 1, that is here, we get Q by C as it is minus L d by dt of I, this is value of I, is equal to 0. So now students, after simplifying this, we will get this equation. Means you can see for this negative sign and this negative sign, minus into minus it will become plus. Then next is d by dt here also, d by dt here also. So it is double derivative of q. So we get second order differentiation of q. Also, what we have did, this L is brought here. So it is q upon now LC. And so we got this equation. That is, this whole equation we can say it is divided by L. So when we divide this equation by L, you can see here, then what will happen here, the L will get cancelled. So one term will be q upon LC, that is here, and the other term will be minus into minus, that is positive, and double derivative of charge. So we got this equation. Let us give this equation number 3. Now students, this equation which we obtained for the charge, it is a second order equation, differential equation of charge, and this equation is similar to that of simple harmonic oscillator. The equation of simple harmonic oscillator which we have studied in 11th standard is given by this. So now you can compare this equation. Here this simple harmonic oscillator equation for mechanical oscillation is in terms of x, you can see, and here this equation is in terms of q. So comparing both the equation, we can say that here there is omega square, which is nothing but frequency, and here that term is 1 upon LC. So we can say that omega square should be equal to 1 upon LC. So after comparing these two equations, we get omega square is equal to 1 upon LC. Now taking square root on both the side, on left side we will get omega naught, and on right hand side we will get 1 upon root of LC. So this is the frequency of oscillations. Equation number 5. Students, this type of equation we also obtained in the case of resonance. If you remember, resonance of LCR AC circuit. Now we know that any equation has its solution. In 11th standard also we have studied that for this equation there was a solution. So here this equation of LC circuit has a solution, and that solution is given by Q is equal to Qm cos omega t plus phi. So this is the solution of equation number 3. Now accepting this solution, where this Qm is the maximum charge and phi is the phase constant, or we can say phase difference. Now students, let us apply the condition that at time t is equal to 0, that is initially, the charge was Qm. We know that initially the capacitor was charged and the charge on the capacitor was Qm, maximum charge. So at time t is equal to 0, Q is equal to Qm. So applying this condition here, so what we will put in this equation, we will put this t is equal to 0, and at that time this charge is Qm. So you can see here, in place of Q we have kept Qm, and in place of t if we will put 0, then 0 into omega naught will be 0. So it is here. Rest of the things as it is. Now both the side Qm will cancel. So here what will remain? On left side 1, and on right hand side only cos phi is remained. So we can say that cos phi equal to 1. And we know that if the cos phi is 1, then this phi must be 0. So here we obtained that the phase constant phi is 0. So now putting this phi is equal to 0 in this equation, we get the equation of charge as q is equal to qm cos omega t. So I have written this equation here, q is equal to qm cos omega naught t. Now once again we know that I is equal to minus dq by dt. What is q? Q is this. So we have kept that value of q. So now differentiating this, we get qm is a constant, so that can be taken out. Remember students, qm is a constant value, so that is taken out. And what is remain now? D by dt of cos omega t, and d by dt of cos omega t is minus sine omega naught t, and as this is constant term, so we know that during differentiation we have to multiply it. So you can see once again here, qm is taken out, which is here, and differentiation of cos omega t is minus sine omega t. So here already there was minus, and now minus sine omega t, so minus into minus will become plus, and this omega naught which is to be multiplied according to chain rule, that is here. So I hope you understood this, because this type of mathematics or differentiation we have applied earlier also, so this is not new thing for you. Hence we got this equation of current. We know that whatever the quantity is obtained here, that is if this is sine or cos, and whatever quantity is obtained here, that will be the maximum value of this. So here putting omega naught qm as a im, that is maximum current, we get this equation of current. So we can say that im is equal to omega naught qm. Now students, about this note, the maximum energy stored in a capacitor, which is in the form of electric energy, that's why the symbol is ue, which is half of qm square by c. This type of equation we have already studied in chapter number 2. Also, the maximum energy of an inductor, which is in the form of magnetic energy, is given by ub. This b is for magnetic field, as this E is for electric field. So ub is equal to half of L Im square. This we have studied in chapter number 6. So these are not new equations for you. So it is clear, when the charge is maximum, the potential energy associated with capacitor will be maximum, and at that time the energy associated with inductor will be 0 in LC circuit. And when the current in the circuit is maximum, at that time magnetic energy associated with an inductor will be maximum. but at that time the energy associated with the capacitor will be 0. Now students, these oscillations in LC circuit will sustain for a long time. In ideal situation, it will continue its oscillations with frequency omega is equal to 1 upon root of LC. So students, it is clear that the energies will go on continuous transformation from capacitor to inductor and then inductor to capacitor, and this process will continue till infinite time in an ideal LC oscillator circuit. Now students, this figure given here is for the purpose of understanding that how the charge oscillates between the two plates of a capacitor. Here this first figure is at time t is equal to 0 when the charge on the capacitor is maximum, and this last figure is at time t is equal to t by 2, that is half of the periodic time, that is for half cycle. We know that for one complete cycle we have this type of graph, but here this is for a half cycle. Now students, let us understand this. Initially the charge on the capacitor was maximum and the magnetic field associated with an inductor is 0. So the energy is stored in the capacitor in the form of electric field, and the energy associated with an inductor will be 0. And this situation is shown with the mechanical oscillations, that initially when this object is kept pulled, the energy is stored as U is equal to half of Ka square, where A is the amplitude, and as this object is stationary, no kinetic energy is associated with it. Now next figure is at time t is equal to t by 8. Capacitor gets discharging. The process is now continuous, and now the charge on the capacitor will decrease, but the current will start increasing. So now there is magnetic field also in the inductor due to current, and there is an energy associated with the capacitor due to some charge still present on the capacitor. So energy is present in both the form, in the form of electric as well as in the form of magnetic. So here we can see that both energies, they are non-zero. This is for mechanical energy. Here in the mechanical system, when this object is released, what will happen? It will start to move towards left side. So its displacement or this amplitude, which was maximum displacement, that will decrease, but it will get some kinetic energy due to velocity, due to motion. And so both potential energy as well as kinetic energies are now non-zero. Same thing here, the energy associated with electric field as well as energy associated with magnetic field, both are non-zero now. Now next figure is at time t is equal to 2t by 8, that is t by 4. You can see now capacitor is completely discharged and the current is now maximum. So when the current is maximum, magnetic field associated with the inductor is also maximum. And so this is the maximum energy stored in the inductor. But as capacitor do not have any charge on its plates, energy associated with the capacitor in the form of electric field is zero. Same thing is shown for the mechanical oscillations. When this block or the object reaches to its equilibrium position, its velocity will be maximum. But as displacement x is equal to 0, as it is at its mean position, its potential energy will be 0. Kinetic energy will be maximum. Now students, what will happen? Once again, due to back EMF, now the current will flow through the capacitor. And so now this capacitor will get charged. So in this case, once again there will be a magnetic energy stored in inductor and electric energy stored in a capacitor. But there is one difference here. You can see in first figure, the upper part of the plate was positive, and now after discharging the capacitor and when it gets charged once again, the polarity of the charge on the plates gets reversed. So this is the difference. So once again, as the capacitor has some charge and still there is a current flowing in an inductor, the energy associated with the capacitor in the form of electric field is non-zero, as well as magnetic energy stored in the inductor is also non-zero. Now at time t is equal to 4t by 8, which is equal to t by 2, that is now half cycle is completed. So in that case, you can see now capacitor is completely charged and the magnetic field associated with the inductor is 0 because now the current is not there in the circuit. So in that case, now it is clear that once again the electric energy associated with the capacitor will be maximum, but energy associated with the inductor will be 0. Same thing is shown here for the mechanical system. This object is now at its extreme position on the left side. So now it has its potential energy due to compression of the spring. So maximum potential energy, but at this instant this block is stationary and so there is no velocity associated with it, and so the kinetic energy is 0. Now this process will go on continuing, and in this way the charge on the two plates of the capacitor will oscillate, plus minus, then minus plus, in that way. So I hope students you understood how the charging and discharging of capacitor takes place and the LC oscillations are obtained in an LC circuit. In this table, the analogy is shown between mechanical oscillations and electric oscillations and their related quantities. Students, the role played by mass in a mechanical system is similar to that of inductor in an electric system. The force constant K in mechanical system is similar to that of 1 upon C in electric system. In mechanical system, there is displacement, and in electric system, there is charge Q. In mechanical system, velocity V is dx by dt, which is similar to current I, which is equal to dq by dt in electric system. Finally, mechanical energy, that is total mechanical energy, is given by half of kx square plus half of mv square. Similarly, in electric system, the total potential energy is half of q square by c plus half of li square, and this is nothing but is electromagnetic energy, because this energy is related to electric field associated with capacitor and magnetic field associated with inductor. Now about example 7.11. Students, here we have to show that for an LC circuit, the sum of the energy stored in the capacitor and the inductor remains constant with time. Means total energy will remain always constant during the LC oscillations. That we have to prove. So now students, let us consider for an LC circuit. Initially, the charge on the capacitor is maximum. That is, the capacitor is fully charged and then it is to be connected with the inductor. So as the capacitor is fully charged, the energy stored in the capacitor at time t is equal to 0 is given by ue is equal to half of q square by c. Here q naught is used. Q naught means it is maximum charge. Sometimes we use qm, sometimes we use q naught, means initial charge, that is maximum charge. Now at this time, the energy stored in the inductor is 0, because no current is flowing in a circuit, because the capacitor is yet to be connected, and hence we can say that the total initial energy of this system u naught is equal to ue plus ub, but as ub is 0, so we get the total energy equal to ue, which is half of q naught square by c. Let us give this equation number 1. Now suppose the capacitor is now connected with the inductor, and after some time, that is at time t is equal to t, the charge and the current is given by. Now suppose at this time charge q is q naught cos omega t. We have used this equation earlier also. So if this is the charge on the capacitor at this time, then we get current at this time is equal to minus omega q naught sine omega t. How we obtained this equation of current? Because we know that I is equal to dq by dt. So if we differentiate this q with respect to time, we'll get this equation. So now there is no need to show that differentiation process because earlier I have shown this. So after differentiation of q, we get current I. Let us give this equation number 2. Now at this time t, the energy stored in the capacitor, that is ue at time t, is half of q square by c, because now the charge is q, so that's why it is q. Initially it was q naught, but now it is q. Next step is just put the value of q from equation number 1 here, that is this. Opening this bracket, we will get this q naught square, which is here, in denominator 2c as it is, and cos square omega t. Let us give this equation number 3. So this is the energy at present in a capacitor at this time t. Now energy stored in an inductor ub at this time t is half of Li square, where I is a current. Which current? This current at time t. So now using this value of I from equation number 2 here, we get half of L as it is, and equation of I from 2, it is this. So we have kept that. Now simplification. We know that here there is a square, and square of minus will be plus, so negative sign will be now not there in next step. Now what is remained? Q naught square here, omega square here, L upon 2 here, and then sine square omega t. So students, simple mathematics, we have simply opened this bracket, we got this. So this is the energy related to an inductor. Now we know that omega is equal to 1 upon root of LC, and from this equation we get omega square L is equal to 1 by C. So first of all, what you have to do, you have to square on both the side, and then you have to get this equation. So you will easily get omega square L is equal to 1 by C. So students, here you can see there is a term related to omega square L. So in place of omega square L, we are going to put this 1 by C here. So now putting that, we get energy UB at time t in an inductor is q square upon 2 as it is. Omega square L is 1 by C, so C is there in denominator. Sine square omega t as it is. Let us give this equation number 4. So now total energy at time t is equal to t, which is represented symbolically as ut. It is sum of the energy associated with capacitor as well as with inductor at time t. Now putting value of ue at time t from equation number 3 and ubt from equation number 4, that is this. In both that equations, q naught square upon 2c is common. You can see in this equation also, and even in this equation number 3 also, this is common. So now what is remain inside the bracket after taking out this term common? Cos square omega t and sin square omega t will remain in bracket. So you can see q naught square upon 2c is taken out from that both the equation number 3 and 4, and inside the bracket is cos square omega t plus sin square omega t, that is equal to 1. So this is now equal to 1, and so finally we can say that the energy at time t is q naught square upon 2c. I have given this equation number 2, but this equation is same as the equation at time t is equal to 0, that is this. Hence we can say that the energy related to or associated to LC oscillator remains constant. So comparing 1 and 2, it is clear that the energy of LC circuit remains constant. So students, I hope you understand this example also. Still, if there is any doubt, then you can ask me.